coming in mid-conversation here, but that's all right.
That's all right.
What's up, dude? Thank you for being here.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
I know you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we got a little studio tour and just started talking. I figured we got to hit record.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we're
Um,
gonna be missing some gems. And now that we're sitting and recording, I was still looking. So is that that looks like a copy of Soul to Soul from the 80s.
I think it might be a first press.
It looks like it. If it's
Man,
not, it
yeah,
relicified.
man. I went to obviously, there's End of an Ear and Waterloo, and I went to the Austin record convention when I first moved to Austin, and I got like the bulk of my record, like first press Clapton's, first press every, and it was like and I'm not a vinyl collector, so I was like ripping it open, and
Yeah.
but
I'm not a vinyl collector either. Sorry, this Bloom sparkling energy got me burping a little bit. My bad.
sponsor us, Bloom.
Yeah. I'm not a huge record guy, but the some of them are really pretty and just fun to look at.
Yeah.
And that one is really cool too. I always thought Stevie looked so cool in that picture.
Yeah, and he's got the ES 335,
Which is random.
I know.
Like,
I just realized he's probably at somebody's ranch in the hill country, and just
I
doing,
just learned so much about him recently. Like last month, I had a buddy in town who's like a big Stevie aficionado.
Yeah.
And he ended up being like raised for the most part of his like early teenage years at Sam's Barbecue
yeah.
on the east side.
I'd read that. I don't know if it was in that book, Texas Flood, which if you haven't read that book,
I need to read that.
it's a great book. I don't know if it was that but I've heard that before.
Yeah, it's really cool because I live a block from there, 2 blocks from. I mean, no, I don't, but I live near there. And so yeah, I just think that's. I wonder if that is maybe it's not there. You could tell it's in the hill country for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, welcome. This is a conversation. Obviously, keep it casual. I want to get to know you, get to know your
Absolutely.
role in
Yeah.
the Austin music scene. Man, you've really been doing a lot lately, and
I've been
so,
trying my best.
dude, it's awesome. I rewatched your train song take at Cedar Creek last night.
Yeah,
Oh man,
I appreciate
dude,
the love on
that's
that.
just power. And I want to talk about the Starcaster eventually.
It's not mine, but
Oh, really?
I will
Dude.
talk to you about how it even came about that I played that. And I left the studio asking if I could purchase that Starcaster.
Wow. Oh, so it was the
This is
studios?
the studio Starcaster, and my guitar wouldn't stay in tune for some reason that day.
Oh,
And
okay.
the tech who was working, and I forget his name. I believe he's the studio owner.
Okay.
He was like, we're gonna swap you out with a guitar. And he was like showing me all these cool guitars, and I was like, what about that one? He was like, yeah. I plugged it in, and it was huge
Ah,
sound. And I like a Starcaster, but
yeah.
that specific one that Cedar Creek had was like, and it's black too.
Yeah.
It's
God,
not like some of the Sunburst Starcasters look a little like
yeah. I mean,
plasticky.
it's kind of like when cars have certain paint colors.
Yeah.
It's like the blue on this Corvette doesn't look as good as the blue on the Mach 1 Ford.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, did you play basketball?
No. So, those are so just my dad was involved with some stuff down in San Antonio, and so he had all of those things in his office, and
Now you do.
he was going to give them away, and I was like, I'll take them.
No, I wouldn't do
Uh,
that either. I'm
yeah.
gonna ransack my dad's wall of sports memorabilia.
There you go. You have to.
When I get like a house and a child and want people over and
There
stuff.
we are.
Yeah,
That's exactly
absolutely.
where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So the studio came together by me just purchasing a rug. I'd kind of already done all this stuff, like I said, and
You put the rug and the whole room came together.
exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
But so where are you from, man?
I'm from Canada.
Well,
Sorry, I'm gonna
it's all right.
sidetrack us so much. This for those of you who can't see, I don't know if anyone can see, but this room is really cool, and I'm very distracted by how much cool stuff is in here.
Yeah, my wife said I need to do a room tour of,
You should. I would. The visual in here is way more interesting than whatever I'm gonna say.
the whole I know a lot of you guys been asking about my room like social media. Like nobody's asked, but
Yeah.
we're gonna
We're
do it
gonna
anyways.
pretend. Chat wants to see what's behind. Sorry, I'm from Canada. I'm from
Okay.
Montreal, Canada. I moved down here a couple years ago, and now it's my 2-year anniversary was in February, actually.
Awesome. And the whole reason was to come play music.
Yeah, it was to, like, try to make it in blues and, like, learn how to play and, like, the whole reason I actually moved was to, like, I really needed stage time at that point in my, like, development as an artist. Like, I just was, like, not good on stage and not comfortable enough, and
Yeah.
I really couldn't sing well, and I just needed to, like, there was a lot of kinks that needed to be ironed out. One could argue that I still probably can't sing that great, but it's better at least. Um, and so I moved down here in hopes of, like, finding stage time, and I got a job at Friends Bar on 6th Street
Alright.
as a door guy,
Nice.
and then I just kept working.
God, doorman on Dirty Six.
Yeah, I'd work the day shift, and then I'd, like,
Okay.
sometimes would work at night, but, like, look at me, like, I was not
Dude, it gets
like, if
what
you were, like, trying to mess with a door guy, like, I was the guy you'd probably pick.
somebody's looking for a fight. They're
Yeah.
going with friends.
Yeah, well, no, not anymore, but yeah, when I
How,
worked there,
how long did you work there? Couple or a year, it sounds like?
not even
Yeah.
6 by the 6-month
Okay.
point of I was probably like, I was I went there, I was like, "I will work until I can play."
Yeah.
And then once you trust me to play, like, I wanna
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I would just what ended up happening was I would just work and then play if someone no showed and then go back to work or something like that.
Nice. I mean, they
And
had
then
their own little resident.
yeah, and then just, you know, I was just, like, always there and just, like, kinda, like,
Yeah.
convenienced myself into playing a lot, and
Right
then
on.
I guess it started to work, and then one thing led to another, and
So, you moved down here because specifically to be in the blues scene.
well, I just like, the reason I moved was, like, a was, like, a lot of like, so there was a lot of reasons why Austin, but I had a buddy who was moving here,
Yeah.
and I wanted to continue doing music, and I knew it wasn't LA, and I knew it wasn't Nashville, so I was like, what am I like, where am I going?"
Yeah.
And I love Gary Clark Jr., and I had just watched the movie Chef. They come to Austin and
Yeah.
Gary plays,
Yeah.
and like it was just like a lot of convenient timing. And then I was just like, man, maybe if I go, like, I love the blues, and my avenue is more like was more in like the John Mayer kind of, but
Mhm.
also psychedelic blues at the same time. So like like the John Mayer trio was
Yeah.
like really where I was
Oh,
like my
yeah.
head was really at. And so I was like, okay, well, let me just go pursue that.
Live at the was it the Nokia Theater?
Yeah,
It's one
like
of the
that
best
that yeah, that
blues
whole
albums, in my
yeah, and you know
opinion.
what's so funny? Like the full circle of it is like that album is the reason that like I love blues probably. Like shout out John. And then JJ Johnson was
Mhm.
playing drums on that record for everything that isn't John Mayer Trio, because then that's Steve Jordan. And JJ Johnson is now Gary Clark's drummer.
I didn't
And
realize
they
that.
all live in Austin. And so I got to meet them once, and
Austin,
I've like
Texas, man.
JJ Johnson's like super fucking cool and like is the drummer on that record. And it's like he just is in it's like the coolest thing. Anyway, Austin's really cool for that. Like
Well, I mean,
you don't even know who you'll run into, and it's like fucking JJ Johnson. He's also played with like Boss Skaggs, and so he's really good. Like he's really good.
that's what makes awesome music, man, is that
Absolutely.
community of professionals like that, and, I mean, people of all,
All shapes and
levels
sizes, yeah. And
of
like I mean the shapes
professionalism.
and sizes of yeah, of like dude, you could be at a jam and jamming with someone who has been the drummer or something for some of your heroes, you know? It's like, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
But you didn't you play with Gary
I've
at
played with
Friends?
Gary a couple times, yeah.
Man.
Gary's
So,
really fucking cool.
hey, so run that down as a bedroom guitarist who listens to Gary Clark and is a friend of blue, and that's I have similar story. Obviously, I'm from San Antonio, but I came here specifically because of the blues scene,
Yeah,
not to play in it, but because I love the scene so
yeah.
much and just the music scene in general. So I feel that. I mean, you can see the
I
posters
see
on
no,
the wall,
I see this. And
but
I think it's really cool. I think it's really awesome that, like, I consider so you're how old are you?
I'm 34.
Right, so I'm 24, so there's a 10-year gap, but, like, I consider us young. There's, like, a young blues scene in
Oh
us.
yeah,
There's, like, both the old blues scene, but then there's, like, a new wave of, like, fun, young, very energetic
yeah.
people that are really into, like, the blues and, Stevie, and, like, I think it's really awesome that the city
Have you
has that.
played with Paul Val, or have you seen
I
Paul
have
Val?
played with Paul Val.
He,
I opened for him a couple times
man, he had his record album release,
at Continental last
the
night.
live at
Yeah,
Continental,
yeah.
yeah, and
I love Paul, like, big Paul fan, just, like, if I'm gonna give a shout out to Paul for sure.
dude,
He's so good.
yeah, he rips for sure.
So, the I think I'm pretty sure the Live at Continental, I'm pretty sure because I was there when they were. But I believe the night that they are recording, we were the
Oh, okay.
special guest band on.
Nice.
We're not on the recording, but like
Right.
I remember they had like they
Dang.
when we played with them. That was my first time ever playing at Continental too. I was so nervous, and they had like three multicam and just so much cool shit going on.
Hey, man. So, I mean, it seems like if you've only been here a couple years and you're already on stage at Antone's and Continental, you've been able to. Well, before I finish this question, I'm sorry. I want to hear about this the story of playing with Gary
Yeah, I know we
and
sidetracked
and
from
how
that.
that is because just
How it is he's a really like he's a generous man. Like that's the truth of it is that will he is a active member of the community,
yeah,
which is crazy because he's a
awesome.
Grammy winner,
Yeah,
multiple Grammy winner, right? Because gone on to and he's an active member of the community. He will come, he will show up, he will he'll seek out what's happening in Austin tonight. Where can I go watch, music and if he if you get him enough mezcal and ask him to play, he says yes. And it's like it's really cool because it probably doesn't mean much to him. It's probably fun for him
it's fun. Yeah,
to
to
be
go
like the
play.
old guy and like he's
Yeah.
not the old guy, but like to have like because for us it's like holy shit, this is
Yeah. Well, when he came up in the scene, I mean, he was playing at Antone's as a high schooler
yeah, right.
and playing with all these legends,
Legend. So I
doing the
guess
same thing for him, just
yeah,
supporting him.
it's like I think it's so fun. I just asked him like I met him working at the door and then I met him a lot. Like I became closer with him
Yeah.
through just like, you know, kind of
Just being around the
getting
scene.
myself to where I needed to be and
Yeah.
working hard and
Yeah.
whatever and blah blah blah. Like I made sure I was at the right places
Yeah.
and found a way to. I had friends of mine who went on tour with him and I found a way like to like work their merch booth so I could go and
That's
just,
how
like stuff like
dude,
that. Just
that's how you have to angle these
and
things,
then you
man.
just like you see people like it's like you see them and then you're nice to them.
Yeah. So, you invited him on
Well,
stage
first time
and
he watched me play, I asked him for advice and he like cooked me. He was like, don't do this, don't do this. And I was like, damn, I thought he was gonna I thought
awesome.
is that a Billy Strings poster? We're gonna go back. Is that from
That
Moody?
that is, it's from Moody, and that
Oh,
that concert changed my life, but
first time I saw Billy changed my life too. We'll get back
yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
That changed everything. Billy was like when I was like, God, because now I'm trying to be like psychedelic blues. Like
Yeah.
our psychedelic blues avenue has become like the Billy Strings kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get back to that.
Get back to that. But, so he coached you through some things
Yeah, and he
and then
still does. And but it's like I don't want to be like I don't like talking about it feels weird because he's really cool, and I don't want to like be like fucking.
yeah, no,
I
I
talk about it all the time because I'm a
yeah,
huge fan of his, and I
right.
cannot believe that like I know who this guy. Like I can't believe he came to one of our shows the other day for like a second, popped in, stayed for a couple songs, and then left, which he does a lot. Like
Mhm.
and then you're like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
did he hate it?
Yeah,
And the next day he texted me, he was like, "You sound pretty good." And it was like the coolest text message I've ever got. It's
man.
like you get so nervous, like you build it up in your head that like, oh, sorry, am I yelling in the
No, 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 you're good. I was just checking. We're good.
yeah, like you get so nervous that like you know, you're not doing this right, you're not doing that. And then, it's like, fuck,
Dude, at some point, you just gotta go do you because
yeah, right.
clearly
And then like just like he's wise to know to just like one text message like that. I was like, oh
yeah,
thank God.
nice guy.
Yeah.
So,
He's a good guy. That's the long story short. Gary Clark Jr. is a good guy.
did you just throw out a key and
Dude, first time we played on stage together, that famous photo that I have of him, that's like the one that's up on the wall at Friends, is we're playing one of my songs, and I told him it was in minor, and it wasn't, and he was
do
like,
me a favor, see if you can get the mic closer. There you go.
yeah, he was like, what the, and that was a funny moment, and it's on camera too. Like someone was like, yeah,
That's funny, but I'm sure he picked it up real quick.
I was just nervous. That was for like the Train song release party.
Oh,
He
wow.
was there, and by happen chance, like um
So did y'all play so you play one of your songs
There's
and
a
then
song
y'all
called
just
"Too
get
Young for the Blues," which is in D minor major, which is just like a blues song.
yeah,
And I was like, "It's in minor," and it's definitely not in minor. It's like
he figured it out.
he figured it
Yeah.
out, but yeah,
So and this was all at Friends, right?
this was all at Friends.
And
Yeah,
where else have you played around town with him?
I've only ever played with him on stage at Friends. Yeah,
Okay.
but I see him at like, you can catch him if I mean,
The story I always tell that with Gary Clark Jr. is I went to that 41st anniversary in 2016 at Antone's,
it's like at
and
the height
it
of his, like
he had just started playing that Olympic white Strat a
yeah.
lot, and
I'm about to
that
say that
was
was, like, right when Our Love was, like
yeah,
that was
right,
just yeah,
exactly.
okay.
It was right after, that
What a
album came out.
song, dude. That song
That was we
rips.
that was my me and my wife's first dance song.
Really? Our
Yeah,
Love?
yeah, yeah, I love that song, man. So,
That's crazy. That's actually super
yeah,
that's a great song,
yeah,
yeah.
it's awesome. So go to Antone's, you know, see, I'm watching Jimmy. Gary gets on the stage and he's playing a couple songs. And then the next year, I go to Madison Square Garden to watch Clapton. And his two openers are Jimmy Vaughn
And
and Gary
Gary
Clark
Clark,
Jr.
that's
And I'm like,
crazy.
this is Austin music right
Yeah,
here, man. This is all it is. And
that's really cool. And I think that that's, like I wanna say that that kinda sentiment is coming back and is, like, holding true again.
100%.
I go out of town to go play, and they're like, "Dude, you're an Austin musician?" And people are like that gets people excited
Yeah.
again. So I think that
Awesome.
that's
So you think, I mean,
it's
and
a s I just think it's cyclical. I think that
yeah,
there's,
yeah.
and
Well, right now, country and you think about just music popularity, countries and like blues and blues rock are kind of, but especially country, are ruling the world right now in
so
terms of music and pop culture.
I think so for sure. I think it's, again, sorry, Bloom.
No, you're good.
I'm getting burps are blooming, dude. I think country music like, I didn't go to Nashville because I think country music scares me because it's really cookie cutter right now, and because it's so cookie cutter, they have been able to, like, really scale it
Yeah,
and, like, monetize,
yeah,
like, the country scene, which I think is really important because that means, like, rock is, like, right around the corner, is
yeah.
what I think.
I hear
I
you.
think I think country like, look at what it has done to artists like, Billy Strings, right?
Hmm.
Like, the country music like Billy's not a country musician by
Right.
any means, but I think the scale of what he has done is on the same kind of wave as like this huge country music thing that's happening.
Yeah.
And I just think that like that's just it, what it is the rebirth of live music in
y-
our
Yeah.
and so I think blues and rock, I think rock and roll is really gonna we're gonna start seeing like bands doing like 80s shit
Oh,
again.
yeah.
I think so. Guys wearing latex I'm kind of like it's not gonna be us, don't get me
No.
wrong, but
Yeah.
I'll go watch.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting point because I just think about like, I think about pop culture in general and just and how much that drives music and everything else. Think about COVID. Think about when Yellowstone came out. Think about the rise of Austin, Texas.
Right.
It all happened at the
Time.
same time,
Right,
right?
at the same
And now
time.
everybody's got a freaking pair of cowboy boots and a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like,
I can't I and listen, I felt to it too, like, when like, a year ago, I was wearing cowboy boots and rocking the whole thing.
oh yeah,
But
dude.
then, I think what's your stance on it? Is it that, like so people are because I get this a lot, like, is Austin plateaued? And, and, like and then if you really start to think about it, it's like, with the rise of the comedy thing, and then the comedy thing seems to have taken, like we've taken a breath on it, which is, like, it's not that the Austin comedy scene is capped off, but I think people have a it's like it's gotten as big as which is huge,
It's
right?
I
So
mean, it's
I don't
become
think it's good, but I don't think it gets bigger than that. I think they've kind of reached like as big as it gets,
I
like
hear you.
which all the credit to Joe and the gang for
Oh
doing
yeah,
that.
man.
But I just think now it's about okay, well, we know that this is now a mecca for comedy and for like what Joe's doing is bringing like all this star power into Austin, right?
Right.
And so by doing that, between him and Tony, and then the blossoming music scene that's like people are calling it like as if there hasn't been a music scene in Austin
Yeah.
every day, but like
Right.
it's like there's so much music in Austin right now. And then the punk scene, and then so I just think there's like, you know,
There's
I
there's
don't want to jinx it, but it seems like there's something
there's
happening.
momentum. There's
Yeah,
forward
for sure.
momentum. Venues are back, fully back from COVID. As an outsider looking in, right? We're past that hump. you go out and there's still live music everywhere around
and
town in places like
it's like blooming.
yeah,
It's like
well, I was gonna say, and unfortunately, Skylark Lounge just closed down. That was
I was
an
crazy, but that wasn't like
OG.
that was a I've been told that that was like a management, like they chose to
Yeah,
close their
that's
doors.
what I'd read too.
Yeah,
But my point is there's places like the Sahara Lounge. Have you been to the Sahara Lounge?
not in a while.
But yeah, so over on the east side, that's like quintessential low key Austin music
Vibe.
venue,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or like, there's a lot of spots like that that are just doing really well right now.
I agree.
And I don't know about a financial aspect, but from an outside looking in, like Friday and Saturday night, they're packed.
You go and yeah.
And so when yeah, is Austin at a plateau? No, Austin, in my opinion, is on the up and up. I mean, from all just from all facets of life, not just the music industry in
No,
general. But
absolutely. That's what I'm saying is like
yeah,
I feel like I feel like I didn't phrase that properly, but it's like I'm hoping, not trying to jinx it, that like especially now that the comedy scene has, it's not plateaued is the wrong word, but like you now we completely understand how big it is. And
well,
so
it's instead of the startup phase, it's here. It's
it did, yeah, it's just like
solidified.
we just like boom, it happened. And
It's
then like
it's here.
and the star power just like followed. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
remember my first week working the door at Friends, like the mothership had just opened
yeah.
and like Eric Andre walked in. I was like, what the fuck? And then Matt Damon was filming, like they had just done the release for Air, the
Hmm.
Michael Jordan shoe
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
and they did it at the Paramount, and he would like walked by, and I was like, what is this city, dude?
That is crazy. Like I first moved to Austin 10 years ago, and anything, I don't know. Even at that point, the city was still, it was the up and up, the trajectory that we're on now had just kind of really started.
Mhm.
My first time ever spent in Austin, I lived here the summer of 2011, and it still felt like a much smaller city than and
And it does now?
oh yeah, so it's wild because like I couldn't imagine being from here and experiencing what we are now experiencing with live music, but at a whole different and much smaller scale back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. And but from my opinion, there's still been a level of consistency because of people like Gary Clark Jr. who do what you described and stay active in the community and support Austin businesses and support Austin music and support Austin musicians. Excuse
And
me.
they keep it alive, yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's inauthentic too, which is really cool. I just think that that's just the way of life down here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that and, like, what you're just saying something that put in perspective, like, 25 years ago, this was a small city, right? Like,
Yeah. Right.
could you imagine, like, you're playing at a club and fucking Eric Clapton walks in?
Yeah.
And it's just, like, it's relatively a small town, how just mind-boggling that must have been.
Well, and that's what happened when they opened
Yeah,
Antone's
I mean, it's
is
just like, could you imagine, dude, being like a 12-year-old? I don't know how old Gary was when he started playing, but like at Anton's, but like let's say he's like 15 or
right. Yeah.
17 or
It was
something,
around that age.
and fucking Eric Clapton is
Yeah.
there.
Or freaking Muddy
Yeah,
Waters.
bro, like Jesus,
Or
that's
any
insane.
any of those guys that used to just I mean, like, Albert King, BB, all those
S-
guys that used to just come through
And
town
just stay there.
and
They
just
just
hang
they
out.
just be hanging
Just
out
hang
there.
out. Yeah, I mean,
That's mind-boggling.
and that's honestly why I came to Austin. And when I first moved here, so C-Boys is my favorite venue. You go check out a show, and
C Boy's cool.
Jimmy Vaughn had a residency there with Mike Flanagan.
Yeah,
He's a B3 player, and man, I'd go watch them on like a Tuesday night, and I'm like, yeah, this
this
is
is
this
what's up. That's
this
the
is
first time
Austin,
I saw
Texas.
Jimmy Vaughn. First time I met Jimmy Vaughn too, because you can, if you go see him at C Boys, you could just shake his
Yeah,
hand.
just hey, nice guy.
Yeah, very,
Uh,
very kind man.
Yes,
But
absolutely,
I was starstruck because like the first night I met Gary was the first night I met Jimmy. It was all one day.
dude. You
Um,
were you
but
were
yeah, dude,
vibing.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? Um, I was so starstruck when I saw Jimmy Vaughn, like way more than for Gary, because it's like he's like a living, he's like a
He,
he's
I mean, he
like a
literally is
god.
a
Yeah, he's
living
like an
legend.
actual god. Like It's like, oh my god, dude. And his strat is so white and so cool.
I love that strat.
Oh man, it's so daunting. You just don't want to fucking touch it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
so
it's
awesome.
just from a music history standpoint, if you're a nerd like us and love the blues and love guitar and can talk guitar and music for hours, like to just be in the same room and then not only just to watch them, but interact with them. I think that's what makes it cool, right? Like you said, you go up and you just shake their hand and you're just talking to them. I was at a Jimmy show and Zap walked up next to me. Gary's
Zapata, yeah.
yeah, and we just started talking about Jimmy and a nice guy and shook his hand, walk away. But and it wasn't like, oh man, let's take a picture. It wasn't that whole
No,
thing. It was like,
it's not, and that's where you know, you don't want to be that guy.
no, you
No,
don't.
you definitely don't.
No,
It's very tough.
and I think the reason why those guys still come around is because people respect that.
Well, and I think people like cherish them as as community members. You know, it's you're allowed to fanboy, but but I think that there's like a respect level that
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, I feel you. So let's talk about your music a little bit.
Yeah, well, I would
So
say we'll go on a tangent.
no, that's all right, man.
25 minutes of just dude, did you 25 minutes of just move to Austin because the music here is really cool.
I mean, there you go. So, I guess what got you going in music? What got you started?
I was trying to impress a girl actually, was like how I started playing. And then
How old were you?
17.
All right.
I'm 24
Dude,
now.
you've only been playing a few years.
Yeah. So it
Wow.
seems it's happened quick. I got bit by the bug like hard. And then when COVID happened, like it, I had been playing guitar for like 2 years, 2.5 years, and I was like good ish, whatever. And then
Mhm.
COVID, and then it's just like, I had a lot of time to sit there and
Yeah.
learn how to produce and,
Yeah.
make music and try stuff out. No one really cared. It was
Mhm.
COVID. You could do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
it's what it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it didn't matter. And like looking back, I should have tried more and done more. Like I should have written and released so much music during that time. Um
So, but you have it written. You just haven't maybe
no, I
recorded.
really I just, hindsight 2020
I
like
got you.
yeah, see 2020 cuz
Nice.
COVID.
This guy.
um yeah, so I just played a lot of, you know, played a ton of guitar during COVID, classic story, and then tried to pursue music after COVID in Canada and
Mhm.
was just
Is
like,
there a music scene where you're from?
yeah, there's not really a scene. You got to break into this. You got to break into like through the corporate world. Like you got to be
Okay.
signed, and
Yeah.
I'm sure there is a scene. I'm not a part of it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I, I got to go
Yeah.
get stage time.
Yeah. And so you made the had you ever been to Austin before
Never
you
been
moved
to
down here?
Texas. I
Wow.
just got my car. My friend was moving, and I was like, I needed a reason to keep doing music. My parents are very supportive of me, like in the sense that like I could tell they're scared, but with what
Sure.
I do, but like
Sure.
they let me go. We were supposed to come here for 3 months. I was paying my buddy to live on the floor in his apartment. He lived in a 1 bedroom apartment. I lived in the living room,
Wow.
and so I slept on. It wasn't like it was fine. Like
But still,
I
you I mean,
and then it was actually great, like great memories. Now that like looking back at it, but damn, I did live on an IKEA mattress on the floor. I did very much. And then, you know, once I got here, it was like 3 months. And then I just played a bunch. And then 3 months was like, okay, well, let's get a place for a year.
yeah.
And then that was a year. That was like, I'm only on my second. I've only like, I've only, I have, I don't even know what the term is. Re-upped my lease.
Yeah.
Re-up is not the
Renewed.
word. Renewed. Renewed.
That's fine. That's
Sorry.
awesome.
I've only renewed my lease once, right? So
Mhm.
I still like I feel like so much has happened, but like in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
I'm still a baby and I barely know like in terms of like figuring out how
Being
to
around here and
yeah.
so when you moved down here, did you immediately start recording? I mean,
No,
because
no, no. I've been recording music for a while. Like I've been doing it myself since I started. I was really into Tame Impala for a while.
okay.
Like I still am. Like I love,
Yeah.
and so the self-producing,
Just you're playing everything.
playing everything and learning and just like making music, like actually creating
So,
songs.
so the stuff that you have out right now on like Spotify, is that all self-produced stuff?
Um, Not all of it. So,
Okay.
like, the stuff that sounds really good,
Yeah.
I did not
Okay.
self-produce. I had people help, like, Greg Warren's produced Train Song with me.
Okay.
That's why it sounds so good. All the stuff we're doing on this new record is mostly self-produced,
Okay.
but, not self-engineered and definitely not self-recorded, and,
Where are you recording?
I've been recording kinda all over, but
Okay.
I think we're gonna finish recording this record at 601.
Yeah.
That's just where
Mhm.
Grayson and I just are gonna do is, like, have finished a song together.
Awesome.
So, well,
Hell
finish
yeah.
is a huge word, but I'll show it to you later.
Okay. Awesome.
But like now that I'm kind of trying to figure out like my release strategy for stuff, when is this coming out?
I'll probably put it out by the end of this week.
Okay, well then, here's what I'll say: I will be releasing new music
Okay.
very shortly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And full album or just a
No,
couple
well,
songs?
so we're gonna do a live record with special guests,
Okay.
some really cool people,
All right.
and then
Can you say where the live record's gonna be?
where?
Yeah.
Well, it's already
Oh,
recorded.
it's already
Yeah, we
recorded. Gotcha.
recorded it. Yeah, we recorded that at Black Box Music Academy right downtown.
Mhm.
Um, uh, and then you know, a single and then an album is like that's the you know. I don't want to say any dates on it, and then
No, that's fine.
someone's
I
gonna
get
hold
it.
me to it.
I get it.
Even if it's 3 people, I don't
No,
want
I
them to
get it,
hold me
man.
to it.
That's fair. But so it's a live album. They recorded here in town, special guest. Um, what about any other studio stuff that you're working on?
Yeah,
More
so
else?
that and then we have a studio record, which like
Okay.
we're
And that was mostly at 601, or you said
no,
all over town?
I've now switched to moving there to 6. So I think it was like I'm gonna have to re-record a lot of like the vocals
Okay.
and then get it mixed by
Okay.
like I'd like Mike to mix it.
Yeah.
Mike, please mix my record. He's really good.
Yeah. No, Grayson was telling me about it when he was here the other week. That's awesome. I didn't know y'all had a show or y'all had a song together.
Yeah,
That's great.
we actually just did the we were recutting drums and bass on it. We did that like 2 days ago. So it was fun to hang out with Grayson again.
Did you use his band, your band
We
mix it?
used my band. Well, we
Okay.
record like all of our stuff. So, like I record Riley and I, my drummer Riley
Uh-huh.
and I will sit there and like for the most part, if I have an idea, I'll go to him, and then he'll sit on his kit because he records at Studio Embaroma, which is like his.
At Studio what?
It's like Studio Embaroma. That's like
Okay.
his studio that he's.
Okay,
I don't
gotcha.
even know if they've officially if they're take. I
Yeah.
think they're taking on clients now, but
Okay.
they're like built. So I've been basically guinea pigging with them at this their
Nice.
studio that they're building,
Awesome.
which is great.
Where's the studio?
In his like at his
At
place.
his
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So which is super convenient and fun.
Yeah.
And so we'll do all the but then like we still that's like the problem with the 601 is like is I'll be like, what's not a problem yet, but I'll bring them stuff and they'll be like, did you guys do this yourself? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes. They're like,
yes, we did.
Let's retrack everything." That's funny. So, you're gonna put that out here pretty soon. So, what is kind of your process and how you write songs? And I know you just kind of touched on sitting down with your drummer and doing it, but how do you
Um,
typically go about that?
so we wrote a lot of the record. Like, um, I write a lot of stuff alone, and then I'll bring it to the band,
Okay.
like on stage most of the time, or yeah, because that's the easiest place to like try out a song. Is like we play every Monday.
Interesting.
Yeah, we play every Monday at Friends,
Okay.
and that's the thing is like you got to play with like good musicians, and
Yeah.
you know, I try to only play with my boys and
Yeah.
people that I love, and
Yeah.
so makes it like a lot easier. And then I'll be like, "Hey, I've got an idea for a song." There's 20 people at Friends on a Monday night at
Mhm.
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
'Cause we play there every Monday, and it's like
Okay.
we get to use it to do this kind of stuff.
No, that's
And
perfect.
then it's like, try it out. If it's any good, half the lyrics I'm mumbling them or something.
Mhm.
Then I'll like record it on my phone. Then I'll go back and like write some stuff down. And then I'll cut a demo of it at my apartment with like automated like fake drums and I'll play bass
Yeah.
on it. And then I'll be like, this is what I have. And then someone will be like, oh, and then and then we'll be like,
Everybody gives your
and
input.
then
Yeah.
suddenly a week later we have like an actual song.
Is that a pretty typical process for I mean, for you and for others to I mean, I know that people like to sample live music. It's kinda like a comedian going and
That's what
do
I do.
doing their set.
I'm a reps guy. Like I need to do something a bunch of times before
Uh-huh.
I'm even, like, confident in it working. So,
Makes sense.
we probably play, like, 250 shows
Okay.
in 2024.
Yeah.
So it makes it really easy to, like, sample out, you know, because 7 or 8 of those shows are big deals.
Mhm.
100 of them are
Reps.
are reps, right? So and then the rest are kinda, like, in between to pay
Yeah.
bills,
Sure.
and so, you
Where
know,
where else have you played around town? I know you said Continental Club, Antone's, you have your
C-Boys
residency.
C-Boys, Antone's, I've played a lot of the places that I like, not I don't mean to say arrogantly, but, like, I've played a lot of the places that I wanted to play.
Yeah.
So right now I'm less focused on like, "Oh, I need to play there." I've never
Yeah.
played at Saxon.
Yeah.
Saxon seems really cool.
Yeah.
I don't really know the scene there at all. I don't know if it's necessarily me either. I'm very loud, and then they seem like Saxon seems like a very poised, like
I mean, I saw Paul Bell there. If that
really?
tells you anything. Yeah. So,
Then I'm
then you're
then
good.
yeah, then what the fuck am I talking
Yeah. He
about?
he had a he had his full stack. I forget the brand of the amp, but it's got that
The Texas one?
the Texas
Yeah, I
head.
think it's a
Yeah.
Marshall,
Is it a
I
Marshall?
think so. I might be
Okay.
wrong though.
Yeah, he had that thing cranked. You're good.
Oh yeah, dude. First time I saw Paul, I was at Friends Bar too, and I had just played before him, and he was kind of like he was like a mythical creature when I met him for the first time because he was like, Paul's
Yeah.
Paul. And he
So,
shows up, he's no shirt, hair back.
dude, he's got some kind of 70s
I
flare
was like,
pants on.
whoa,
Dude,
who is this
yeah.
guy?
He's a really, really nice guy too.
He's a good guy,
He's
yeah.
a really nice guy.
He's a really good guy.
So where's your favorite place to play that you've played then?
Antone's is my favorite place to play.
What makes it your favorite? The
Literally,
fact that it's
like
Antone's?
pick like if it's not the fact that it's Antone's, then it's the fact that the people who work there are the nicest. If it's not that, it's the fact that the sound's amazing. If it's
Yeah.
not like there's so many reasons why I think Antone's is awesome. I think Friends is like a really good place to play. Um, I think anywhere that has like a scene, I think it's really cool. I think Sea Boys is fucking sick.
Yeah.
I think Continental's sick. You know,
Yeah.
like I've never played upstairs at the gallery, but I think the gallery is really cool.
Yeah.
Like the homies is. Have you ever been for
I haven't been to one
Homies'
of their
thing?
shows, but I've been trying to man, it's hard with the kid to get out on a weekday
I
night,
get
but
that. I get that. You know what? Bring the kid.
I
Let
know.
him learn.
Well, so I told my wife, I'm like, "Hey, long weekend, we're going to a show on Sunday somewhere
Somewhere.
because there's always a show on Sunday that I'm missing, you know."
Another hour Sunday service is
Yeah, that's
really,
always a
really
good
good
one.
one.
I saw them at Sagebrush not too long ago. Those guys just bring the party, man.
They bring a party. That pretty sure they're at Sagebrush last night too.
Probably.
I
Yeah.
played at Sagebrush with them once, and it was very fun.
Nice.
I like the Another Hour guys a lot. I mean, there's so many great bands in this community.
What's crazy is when I started this, I was always kind of, call it fanboy outside looking in, just following the scene. And I've,
I still am, by the way, fanboying
well,
outside
I
looking
think
in, and I consider myself in the scene.
to enjoy what you're doing, you have to be right. I mean, there's a reason why you came down here, but
Dude, like, and first time I watched Another Hour play, I was at like when they were doing Latchkey Sunday service like a while ago. Like, there's the bands here are fucking incredible.
yeah.
Because if it's not like any point in the scene, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you got
No,
me really
you're
excited.
good. You're good. Well, so who's your if you're not playing, where are you at watching
I'm
music?
watching. If I'm not playing, I'm at Continental.
Okay.
I'm at Friends. I'm out. Like
Yeah.
I'm most nights.
Yeah.
And like I think like we're doing a show at Antone's on the 7th, June 7th. It's my birthday show. We're doing it with Louisiana Surf Department,
Yeah.
Texas Rebels, and Zach Tellender is gonna do a couple songs, I believe, too. Um,
I haven't seen the Louisiana Surf Department live, but I've
dude,
listened to their music a
oh
bunch.
my god, they're so good.
They rock.
They rock. It's like we're so privileged. It's really um
But there's so many guys that like them. My favorite band right now that I've just been rocking is My Own Broussard. Have you ever listened to them? They play at White Horse a lot,
what are they
Sagebrush.
called?
My Own Broussard.
I don't think so.
They are I call it country, call it
Yeah.
rock and roll, call it blues. Brian Broussard, solid individual, first of all, but just freaking slams the guitar.
Go see. I
Um,
mean,
uh,
White Horse, they know how to throw a fucking
yeah,
party.
for sure.
That's a
there's no
real
doubt about that.
honky tonk,
Oh, yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and
I like it there. It's actually intimidating. I don't know how to dance well enough to be in that room.
oh, yeah. I did enough of my pretend dancing when I was at Texas A&M. That's kind of a rite of passage. You gotta learn how to two-step, but then you get to Austin, you see how people really dance down
I was
here. You're
saying,
like,
dude,
"Oh,
fucking some of these guys like they like run into like Uncle Laser at White Horse. He's like throwing women over his shoulder. He does all these like crazy
yeah, he does all
movements
the"
with.
yeah.
I don't know how to dance like that. I'm just gonna let the professionals do what they're doing.
But it's good enough to be in the room to listen to all the talent that comes to that space,
So
man.
funny.
Because
That's where I saw Ellis Bullard for the first time.
nice.
He's badass. I love
Man,
Ellis.
have you so he plays a Texas Tone amp?
Does he?
Yeah, and, I just recently had a conversation with Bruce of the owner of Texas Tone and started to dive into Texas Tone even more.
Yeah.
There's a lot of boutique amplifier guys, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's something about that amp, man. They're a little for me as a bedroom guitarist, it'd be a little much, but they've got a lot.
I gotta go check those out.
Yeah, so check them out, Texas Tone Amps,
Texas
and
Tone.
I'll send you the link.
Please do.
He
Ellis
had
plays it?
yeah, and Ellis plays a
I wonder what. Yeah, I mean,
I don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't know much about um because Ellis has got a real honky tonk sound.
Yeah,
So I guess it's like it's gotta be like
his voice is awesome.
or
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah,
his guitar player Sam. I don't know if Sam Norris. I haven't seen Ellis's band in a while. I hope Sam Norris is still his guitar player. Let's assume
yeah,
he is for the
okay,
sake of this conversation.
yeah.
Sam Norris fucks. God damn, dude. I love Sam. Listen, that's my whole shout out. Sam Norris is so good. He's like red.
Period, that's
Yeah.
it.
He dude, God, he plays slide and he's really, real. He can play. He can really, and that's what's so fun is like he's also like a young guy. He's maybe my age, maybe a little bit older than me.
Nice.
And just like, dude, represent like way to be young and sick, dude.
Hell
He's
yeah.
such a gunslinger. I love that guy.
So how did you I mean, in 5 years, man, you're a bona fide guitar player. I mean, what were you did you have your parents have a musical background?
I
Like
just played a lot. Like I don't think no.
yeah,
Like my dad could play the piano, kinda.
okay. Gotcha,
He'll claim that he can play the piano probably better than he
but
can.
you can also sing, so, like, I mean,
I mean,
you
I had a
just
vocal like Ronnie Hall was my vocal coach, and
okay.
he really set me straight. Like,
Here in
yeah,
Austin?
yeah,
Okay,
he's the guy who owns Black Box Music Academy,
okay, okay.
and like when I went and saw him, I just think he's like really good at what like he. I didn't know what I was doing. Like I genuinely did not know how to sing, and it's like, forget like sounding good. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I
Right,
didn't know that like
yeah. Forget carrying a tune.
yeah, it's like I feel like there's like things you gotta know, like, oh, did you like do you think about that? I was like, I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just going up there and yelling. I was like
I
not
was
thinking.
just trying not to sound bad.
Yeah, right. And so it's like he like definitely got me straight. And so, but I think that like you have to have an like I recognize that I probably have a good ear for music and
Mhm.
because I'm able to pick up,
I mean,
quickly.
fairly quickly,
Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome. So you've also played around town doing things like the Austin Artist Spotlight, local sets, ATX.
Yeah.
So
Just trying to be active.
yeah, no, that's awesome. And those are cool. And I think another reason why the Austin community is so strong for guys like Reed who do local sets. And
He's a cool guy.
yeah, he's salt of the earth,
Yeah.
man. Um, but they create a platform outside of touring and outside of social media and outside of just going and watching somebody at a venue for you to come and kind of show your artistry, and
Yeah, and
I
it's
think it's
like
super unique.
it's I think it's really fun. It's like you guys are, so it's like guys like you and Reed and anyone who's like doing anything to like keep the community going, especially Reed with his platform. Like I have a lot of people who reach out about local sets ATX and like they want either they want to be on it and I'm like,
Yeah,
you got to go talk to this guy and it's
yeah,
like I think it's really important because that kind of gives the like more validity to what is happening and
yeah,
there's like a real scene and it's one thing when we're like, dude, look at this fucking scene that we're creating, and then it's another thing when it's like, oh well, like you can really, and so I think it's really important that there's like conversations and
yeah.
people that are excited about it and talking about it and
So what do you think about the term live music capital of the world?
ah I mean,
I ask because there's no right answer first,
there is no
and
right answer. It's like, I don't know, it's not it's like you could probably make the claim, right? Like
yeah.
between 6th Street, Red River, South Congress, right? Like there's so many different music scenes that that's like completely excluding all the techno scenes that exist in
Oh, I
Austin
know.
too, right? Like that's just people who play guitar, right? So
Mhm,
like whether it's punk or soul or there's there's a plethora of music,
mhm.
but I feel like Nashville is just the sheer scale of it.
Yeah. Well, and
It's like honky tonk casinos, dude. It's like
well, it's
crazy.
everywhere. Well, if that's what your definition of is, right? Because like I said, there's no right answer. But like, if you're talking about from the perspective of just walking down the street and hearing a band play, you know, like you named off a bunch of corridors. But if you're outside of those corridors, you're not going to really hear a
No.
lot, right?
I think you like you'll be surprised. Like I remember my first like month in Austin, I was surprised with how little music there was.
Yep.
But it's because you got to know where to go.
You gotta know where to go.
Be
But
like
then once
Friends,
you
there's
do,
music every like Friends, Continental, Seaboys, 7 nights a week,
right,
every fucking day.
right.
And then you realize that like, oh, there's not 100 spots, there's eight. And if you're
Mhm.
not in at those 8 spots, you're not in the
Well,
music
yeah,
scene in
yeah.
Austin.
Well, yeah, well, that's the thing. So, I mean, so how do you think we maintain where we're at? I mean, we've been talking about awesome music for the past 45 minutes. How do you think we keep this going?
I mean, I don't know if I'm necessarily the right person to ask because, and this is my disclaimer before I say my answer, because I'm so young and like I don't really know. But I think that the answer is I was excited to move here and be part of this of the situation.
Right.
So I think that that is maintaining, right? If the next generation is like eagerly itching,
Mhm.
knocking at the door, let us in. We want to continue this thing
Yeah.
and make it bigger, or like ride the wave,
Yeah.
right, as it's growing. I think that that's
There's no right or wrong answer, but that's the right answer right
right, if
there.
that makes sense.
Continuity, man.
Yeah, right?
Like that's everything.
That is everything. We did
Is
45 minutes of just the love of Austin. Well, the podcast called Austin Music People, and you
It's
know what?
it's what it's about, man. It's about talking to everybody in the scene, no matter who you are. I have some guests here coming up that used to put on some punk rock house shows
See, but
back in the
like
'90s.
there was so much of that,
So much of that.
right? And that's like so when I think of live music, sorry, go
No,
ahead. You were
no, no,
gonna
no,
say yeah.
no. Well, because so have you heard of Austin Music Love, John Fantana?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he puts on house concert series,
Yeah.
not just
Did he used to do punk rock concerts?
I don't think so. But and it's not just house concert series. He does some stuff over at the Lauren Hotel, but that right there, and like Grayson had a song release party, I think at his house, well, or not at his house
I saw that.
at
I think I'm going
Austin Garden.
last night.
Yeah,
Did you go?
no, I was family stuff, but
I gotta get you out on a Saturday night, June 7th at Antone's.
yeah,
There's no camera, but I'm pointing at the fake camera.
you point at this camera here. We'll replay that for social media. No, but where was I going? Oh, that house scene, like, I've been to a few backyard concerts in South Austin, just living there and hearing music, like, that's what made Austin music, in my opinion.
And that's what's really cool about it.
Yeah,
Like, and people are going out to do it.
yeah,
Like there is a love for like actually trying, which I think is really cool.
yeah,
I'm very
agree with
grateful
that.
that there's a city and people who are like I have people who come to every show, like people my age
Hell yeah.
that come to every show, free show or not. And like it's because that's what they think is fun.
Yeah,
And like when I really think about it, it's like it's a fucking honor that this city allows us to do this because
yeah,
it's like, man, like like in like this is what we wanted. This is everything we said we wanted. Like, oh, I wish I lived in the 70s. I wish
yeah,
people came out and watched live music. They do
yeah,
every fucking
they
night,
do.
actually. It's
Sunday
crazy.
nights,
They do, and now the responsibility is on us to like not
keep it
suck.
going.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, and you know, I have a perspective because of my professional life where I'm just a part of a few organizations and committees and things that, and it's definitely more of the, you know, artists aren't a part of these groups. These are, professionals, attorneys, and uh, developers and contractors and
People who pay
architects
taxes.
that have been a part of the Austin culture, the greater culture for a long time. And even if you ask them, one of their top priorities, and they're these are the people that are building the high rises on Rainy and
Mhm.
building all these phenomenal buildings around town. One of their top priorities is how do we keep the music scene alive? And I can say that confidently because I've been in the room when I hear these conversations.
Yeah.
And
That's actually like very heartening to hear. That
good.
because that was like the fear with especially the Rainy project.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not speaking for everybody, but the general gist that I get in the rooms that I've been in is there's a reason why Austin is Austin. One of the main reasons is the music scene and
Yeah.
culture around that here, and what it brings to Austin as a greater city.
Yeah.
So
I think it's important to keep it. Like I hope that that's actually true.
yeah,
My
yeah. Well, it's like the Red River Cultural District. That's an effort to maintain.
and it should continue. Like
Yeah,
I really hope that it continues to blossom.
yeah,
I think that do you know Die Spitz?
yes,
Like I hope there's more of bands like that.
yeah,
Like I love those girls.
yeah.
They're
Yeah,
so
they're
cool.
wild, man.
They're so badass,
Uh,
right? And that's just like I don't know if they're bred from the Red River scene, but like
let's assume.
let's assume,
Yeah.
right? For I know that makes an ass of you and me, but like when I think of the Red River scene, like they're like that's immediately what
Yeah.
my brain goes to. And
So
so it's like, yeah, as long as the city can continue pumping that out, but also like we need high rises so that new people can come live here.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the city is changing.
e
As long as we change together.
yeah, exactly. That's the conversation is you're not gonna stop the city from changing and growing and evolving. It's
Yeah, the same way
it's
you're not gonna stop me from playing till 2 in the morning though, right? Like, if you build a high
exact
rise next door, I'm just gonna let you know I'm
Yeah,
not turning down at
right,
11 o'clock.
exactly. Yeah, if you're gonna live on Rainy and then complain that half step is too loud, there
That's on you,
that's
dude.
on
Like
you,
you
bro.
like we which I think there is a bit of concern about that. Like, I hope there's never
Mhm.
any buildings on South Congress. I hope there's never any, you
And
know
it's valid. That's a valid concern.
yeah, and I hope that, like, the new Dirty Six thing that they're doing, like, how they're, like, they're
Oh, yeah.
re I'm sure you know, very
Yeah.
w and so, like, I'm concerned that, there's gonna be a fucking Hard Rock Cafe and you know
And I just don't see that though.
okay, good,
You know,
because that's
I
my, like, my stress my only fear is that it's, like, the is that corporate America is gonna
Yeah,
try
and
to make, like, Austin cool, and that's gonna kill it.
somebody's gonna throw it right back in my face and say, "Well, there's an Aloe on South Congress now." But
I do love the Aloe store, though. I actually
but it's, Music Lane right there. You've got Arlen Studios right behind it,
right
which
behind it.
for people who know anything about Austin music know how important that studio and that little area is. Um, so man, I talking about the Sixth Street thing particular, I don't see the hard rock and that kind of stuff. I don't know, maybe some.
If they do it like they did South Congress, right? Like, if they 6th Street
Yeah,
a nice South Congress, then we're fine.
yeah.
We are fine, like, that because South Congress music venues survived.
Oh, and look at it now, man. Look at that. I mean, when
It's
I first
it's
moved here,
gorgeous.
I would stay on South Congress every now and then. And there was on this is where Music Lane is now. It was like a food truck, one single food truck. It was this chicken place, it was really good. And then there was like this I don't know if you call it a costume shop, but it was like a castle.
Some weird old
It
Austin shit,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly, and it was like, there
Oh, what a
was,
strange city.
but there was like a strip of buildings, and, me and my buddy would go to the gym on South Congress that was like in a basement, and then on top of it was like Texas Provision Store, I think that's what it was called, but, like, even that was in 2016, 2017. Even then it wasn't the South Congress that it is now. But to your point, the feeling of South Congress to me, sure, there's commercialization there, but you still got Continental Club, you still got Sea
Oh,
Boys,
dude,
and like
I think it's really I adore South Congress now.
when I tell
I mean,
people,
I say that as if I have a single clue what it was like before. I've never
yeah,
seen it, but it
well,
just
I mean,
I just wish they just I just wish the Soho House like there's like one weird like the Aloe store and the Hermes store have brought it There's a
it definitely
vibe there
throws a
for sure.
different,
Yeah,
aura to
right.
it.
But
It is what it is,
it is what
man.
it is.
That's just it, there's everybody can live and survive in the same circle, man.
Oh, no, no,
And
and also it's necessary,
yeah,
like,
to have the success that musicians deserve in Austin, you need people to
with
come
money, we need people with
to
money, dude,
watch
like,
the
I don't
show and buy the merch
yeah,
and
it's that is not a people like, it's, and we were talking about it's like a small business, it's like, if my small business has to work, well, then that means your business has to work, that means everyone's businesses have to
yeah.
be working so that we can continue to do this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like we were saying, you are the CEO, you are HR, you are, everything.
Yeah,
So, I mean, and I respect that. And as I've gotten into this podcast and I meet more musicians, I've always known how, or I've always just kind of generally understood the business side of what
yeah.
you do. And now that I'm really getting into it and not so much just understanding, but kind of getting exposed to what y'all have to go through, and I'm not having to go through it, right? I'm not saying I'm there. My point is, I have a lot of respect. I have a lot more respect for it now,
Oh, cool.
as a from a business side of
Yeah,
things, and
it's,
starting. I don't know if you have an LLC and doing all that kind of stuff, but like having all these, bi- you know, I guess you just wouldn't think about it if you go to and you see a random person on stage at any venue, you don't think about how much work they've had to put in just to stand in front of you and sing songs.
yeah.
And I just think I don't know. I just have a lot of respect for that.
Oh, thank you.
My
Well,
little my,
you
my
know
little
what?
ramble circle there.
No, no, I think it's valid. It's a small. We run small business. It's a small business.
Yeah,
I feel like
100%.
a small business owner.
And also, there's a lot of people in town that want to help that. From what I've seen, attorneys and stuff like that. I've seen.
Dude, I forget what it's called.
Well, there's
Texas Attorneys and Legal for the Arts.
okay,
It's like free legal
awesome.
and accounting services, and then Ham. There's like so many
Ham Sims.
dude. It's like it's. I mean, I'm a Ham. I use Ham for my healthcare,
Awesome.
especially as a Canadian who
Love to
came
hear
from
that.
free healthcare to
Yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah.
Thank you, Ham, for covering
Wow.
my health.
Yeah, I've gotten to know a couple of the Sims folks through this show, and
Yeah,
man, there's just people that care
they care,
a lot.
and I like if I ever make enough money to give back in music, like I want to be an artist who heavily donates to Ham
Yeah,
because it's like super important.
yeah.
Like they actually have helped me out. Like I had to go get a medical thing. I got an ear plug stuck in my ear after a show.
Oh
It
shit.
it was like the stage lights were so hot that like it was a wax
Oh
and
sh.
it like melted into my ear. It's kind of gross, whatever. And I had to go to the hospital. It was like really expensive.
Hell yeah.
Like thousands of
Hell
dollars. I
yeah.
was like, what the fuck? And so Ham hooked it up.
Wow.
We love you, Ham.
I mean, but that's awesome music right there, man. And
Yeah.
there's places like that, I'm sure, in other cities, but just the number of nonprofits here in town, and it's a big nonprofit city in general, but the number of nonprofits that support
It's
musicians at
amazing.
that level.
Well,
Oh, that's cool, man. So where can people find you?
um, I mean, Nico Little music. I mean, Nico Little and the North Americans is so let me do this. Let me do this properly. Spotify, Nico Little and the North Americans. We have new music coming in soon. We're gonna do um I shouldn't be teasing this too much, but we're gonna be releasing a couple songs very shortly. And then we're gonna plan to roll out, some fun announcements as the summer continues, which is gonna be really exciting. Um, we play at Antone's on the 7th
June 7th.
with Texas Rebels, Louisiana Surf Department, and Zach Tallender. It's my birthday party.
All right.
We're gonna be serving free ice cream.
There you
It's gonna be a
go.
fun time. Elmore Pedals is gonna have a booth there. Probably gonna be giving out free pedals too.
Wow.
Yeah. So you should
Damn.
come.
All right.
You should definitely be there.
Yeah. I
Um,
will. I appreciate it. Absolutely will be.
it's gonna be a fun. It's a birthday party. It's my
Yeah.
25th birthday, which is like
It's a good birthday.
my quarter century, right? Like that's a big one, and so I'm really excited to do it at Antone's too.
Yeah.
Like I love it there.
Good.
Um, so yeah, we may have music released for that show. Wink, wink.
All
I'm
right.
just gonna just may as well just start
We
rolling
can
this
leave
out
it
now.
there.
Yeah.
So what's your end goal with all this?
Just to do this for my career. Like my real end goal is like I'd love to like make records at the highest level and
Yep.
like tour and like, but then just to continue to be in music for the rest
Yeah.
of my life. And I do love working back of house a lot, like a lot. Like I love being on stage, but I will transition eventually into being who knows? I love booking. Like there's a lot
Oh,
of
all right.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a lot about this career that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
But for right now, I want to see how far I can take the artistry of it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because
That's fair.
that's the you know, that's the really the fun part.
Well, shoot, man. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, dude,
This has been a fun
yeah,
hour.
this was a really good podcast because I mean, you and I just nerded out about stuff for
That's awesome, man. And
Yeah.
they didn't even get the conversation about the guitars,
Yeah,
but
well,
it's all right.
they have to come see it for themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you
exactly.
go.
Eventually, we'll
Well,
get
maybe
this
not.
thing on video, and we'll get it cleaned up to where everybody can see the studio, aka home office, aka Thomas's playroom, aka my wife's office, aka whatever dog's sleeping room.
Dog sleeping
Yeah,
room.
exactly.
Big old Carhartt bed for the dog. Look
Oh
at that.
yeah, that he doesn't use.
I
Uh,
would.
but I appreciate it, man.
This
Thanks
has
for
been
being
great. Thank
here.
you so much.
All right, we'll see you,
We'll
everybody.
see you guys.
Thanks for listening. Know someone we should talk to? Give us a shout on Instagram at Austin Music People. Tell your friends, tell your family, and get out there and support Austin music.